Hi, welcome to the show Canada Rising. This is Eric Smith. I'll be your temporary host today as Hamal can't make it. And we're sitting here with Bob Johnston, former mayoral candidate of Sudbury, Ontario, and heavy civic and homeless rights advocate, and runs a charity. Bob, would you mind chiming in with the name of your charity?
Tomorrow's Hope.
Tomorrow's Hope, and he runs a community outreach program right out of the Sudbury Arena as well. So Bob, how are you today?
I'm always good, and if not, you make it good.
That is true.
It's like I woke up this morning and the weather, it's changed.
Yep.
And the temperature has changed. But one thing what hasn't changed is the truth.
That is, yeah, you can't change objective reality in that sense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the only thing that we can look at is our subjective perspective and how we handle those situations as they come to us in the moments that they flow. But we should still be observing objective reality at all times. And on that note, I mean, I'm kind of curious what brought you to politics in Sudbury.
What brought me to politics in Sudbury, it was 2013. I was on national television, Undercover Boss Canada for the Blue Door Soup Kitchen.
Okay.
That went right across the country. And a friend of mine in 2014 was running Jerry Montpellier for Ward 3. And he says, Bob, he goes, can I count on you and your support? Will you help me out? And, you're just coming off of national television. And I said, Jerry, the world's for you. And I became good friends with Michael Vagnini, also Ward 2 councillor. And we just followed each other and started hanging out together. And those guys were so honest that I looked up to them as big brothers. And I'm fighting for them and I'm fighting for our city.
And so you've been doing this for about, I don't know, a decade now, I would say? Or a little longer?
About 12 years, yes. Okay. Through those 12 years, I've been a diabetic for 48 years, a double leg amputee, a kidney transplant, my main heart valve taken out, a cow valve put in, kidney transplant, detached a retina.
Just no stranger to adversity.
Yeah, and I don't even look at myself half the time as disabled, under disabilities. And the reason why I look at it that way is because it's all in your mind. It's all what you want in life. When I lost my first leg, I got up in the morning and said, you know what, Johnson, you lost your leg. Right. I did that every morning for a week. What is phantom pain? Never heard of it.
It's like
now that's from 2013. Now I lost my other leg in 2022, and same thing. Did the same thing. Johnson, you lost your leg. No phantom pain.
You're just being honest with yourself by the sounds of it.
That's all it is. It's being honest with yourself. Realize what's what. I've been up to the hospital probably 8 times, 10 times since February. Talking, I got messages on my phone. Bob, can you go talk to my hubby? Oh, can you go talk to my boyfriend? They're all depressed. They're all this. They're all that. You know what? I put on my 2 legs. I hop in my van, and there I go with my hand controls.
Yeah.
Life is good, man. It's what you want out of life.
You're easily one of the most hustle and outreach-oriented people I've ever heard of in the city. Period. And we need that more than ever, I think. I think what you're doing downtown is one of the most astounding things. So I've been trying to get a way to go do that and have good outreach with these people downtown and try and get their situation to the broader perspective and to the mainstream culture of Sudbury. But it's actually been very, very hard. A lot of people don't want me to go talk to them. A lot of people don't want me to... Well, a lot of people are very shy about being on camera, especially downtown right now. That whole situation, you got to be very careful with that, right?
Well, I've done 10 videos myself.
Right.
Never had a problem with one. In fact, I even have one with a guy with a crack pipe in his hand.
Right. So it's all about your approach.
And I had 2 people come up and say, what are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm showing the truth and I'm showing reality. If you don't like it, unfriend me.
Right.
Thank you.
And I would like to clarify, it's not the homeless people that give me a problem about the being recorded thing. It's mostly the
No.
businesses around them, you know?
Exactly. They want their share of their story. And that's why I came up with that program, The Story of Your Shoes.
Right.
And it's going very well.
And tell us a bit more about that program.
So I was deciding how I'm going to get to the core of the homeless. No offense, and you know, people out there, take it the way you want. You know, we have like 120, 130 organizations helping the homeless and so on, and giving out water and granola bars, and that's not what we need.
Right.
And I've always said it for probably 14 years now. Communication, education, bring them their self-value, show them what they're worth, and they're worth something.
Yeah.
And then we can move on down the road, you know? And yeah, it's hard and so on and so on. But I was out there for probably 2 years due to health issues when I went septic and stuff. But it took me, no more than 4 weeks to get back into it.
Right.
And
You were
build
just
up
back
that
on the road.
relationship with all these new people.
And so you're like a master of networking in Sudbury in that sense.
Well, you know, like, nobody knows, well, not too many people know I'm a double leg amputee.
Right. I had no idea actually when I first contacted you.
Exactly.
With the way you hustle around town, I would have had no idea.
Yeah, no, and it's because I'm determined. You know? How do you put people out with no washrooms after 8 o'clock at night? Is that humanity?
Absolutely not. And I mean, it's only a cost to our entire city. It's not just a cost to the people living on the streets, it's a cost to everybody.
Well, exactly. You know, urination on the buildings and so on, and it don't end. And then let's talk about, in a way, our mayor and great council, who, we did this and we did that, and Johnston's misinformation. And well, I'm going to tell you right now, I have no misinformation. What I've said is what I've called since 2022.
Right.
And it's all recorded and everything else. But now yesterday, something drew to my mind. You know, right across Canada, we have encampments.
Every city right now.
Every city has encampments. But do you realize that we're the only city who shows that our addictions and our mental health are not a priority? And how do we show that? By our mayor and our council and our upper management sunshine list and their consultants. Oh, Energy Court, it's the best thing, it's sliced bread, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Okay, well, do you realize that we're the only ones in Canada who have an encampment, what has a pot store and a liquor store right on the property line?
Yeah, like they have fresh access right away. In that sense, to me, it's no different than a methadone clinic, except they're taking away the entire grace of the methadone clinic being for harm reduction at this point, and they're just letting them have free reign over the...
Where did the thinking come from?
Well, a lot of the cities I noticed in Canada are actually kind of doing that. For example, in Chatham-Kent right now, so they have I think it's a 265 tent encampment down there right now. It's absolutely massive. And one of the things they ended up doing with it is they moved it to the only clean green space in the city, right under their water tower. Right? And so now one of the problems they're facing with the encampment being there is that the encampment has been stripping copper and a bunch of electronics out of their water pumping stations, and now the city's coming up with brown water, stuff like that. So it's not even, these people that are on the streets in Chatham-Kent are just trying to make it by.
Yeah.
100%. And they've been forced to go to this space from wherever they were, all over the city. The other people who aren't homeless in Chatham-Kent are upset with the drug issue, because that's the big issue why they all got moved there, right?
Right.
So their kids in the parks are stepping on needles, like, you know, they're around the trash and the filth everywhere. People don't want to pick up after themselves because, I don't know, Canada's done this thing with legalization of drugs and harm reduction and all these other things that kind of doesn't really incentivize self-improvement, right?
Right.
That's how I kind of see it anyway. And
Well, you know, it's like the master plan for the greater city of Sudbury. We went to one of their presentations, me and a buddy of mine asked 20 questions, we never got one answer.
And this was with who, sorry?
The greater city of Sudbury, Tom Davies Square, master plans of downtown.
Just like the Chamber of Commerce?
No, it was straight from the city.
Straight from the city.
And then I'm looking and I'm going, well, holy lordy, there's no Samaritan Center on that master plan.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fire station on that master plan. Oh, wow. Could I be right for 2 years now stating that they're gone too? Well, of course. And now what they want to do is they want to close down these two properties and switch it over and move them into Energy Court.
Right.
And they also want to buy the flooring and paint store.
That's right beside the beer store, right?
That's right, yeah, on the other side. And behind on the wall is Chris's Independent.
Right.
And that's where they want to put the soup kitchen and the mission.
I mean, Chris is a pretty good guy, the guy who owns that Independent.
Yeah, but how far are you going to push, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I actually remember that Independent specifically was one of the ones during the pandemic that started taking off all their arrows and reducing the, I guess, the mandate restrictions.
Chris has always been a great supporter of any organization in Sudbury who's helping out with the homeless and the addictions and the mental health.
Oh, he and disabilities too. Like, as far as I understand, he's also hearing impaired himself, and he does a lot of outreach with the Canadian Hearing Society. Yeah, no,
he's a great man.
Mm-hmm.
But so what's it going to cost us now to move this part of the Samaritan Center over here? You know, we've already spent $50 million on what we see today, and Wacky Wings is still going strong at $100,000 a month until they open their doors.
Right.
Which could be another 3, 4, or 5 years. Who knows?
Yeah, because they have to renovate that entire brewery, right?
Bingo. You know, and the public, well, you know, the public has no, it's basically none of your business, and pay your taxes and shut up.
It's interesting to see something finally get done with that northern brewery, though. It's like having Wacky Wings move there. I don't know if that was the city's choice or if that was Wacky Wings' choice. It's an interesting location, though. I've heard for a long time that building was owned by, like, as an investment property by separate and different gangs, and it's a lot of suspicious stuff going on in that building in general for a long time until this, all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, this is where the movement comes in, right?
Right.
But then at $100,000 from your city taxpayers, you can basically do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know? And there again, is the honest to truth, all the rules and regulations being put out to the public? No. So do you know the street behind the Northern Breweries?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember by name, but I think it's Ash
Yeah.
or...
Okay, well, that street is supposed to be turned over to Wacky Wings and to Nickel City.
Okay.
And that's going to be parking all the way through.
Right.
We have no say in that?
So they're going to kind of like bike lane downtown it sort of thing.
Exactly. You know, so how much money is actually being spent? The actual cost, you know, like the Sakudi, okay, retires and the next day he comes back as project manager.
Right.
So he's getting double the pay. Exactly.
Where's
right?
the money going?
Yeah, no, exactly. So who's pulling, who's in bed with who? That's what I'd really want to put out on the table.
I think that's a very good question that we have to ask as Sudburyans, because we actually, for the most part, we're all too pinned down on our 9-to-5 blue-collar work mining jobs. So do we really have the time to engage with these Sudburyan elite in that sense? Because that's how they treat it, right? I don't want to call them an elite status of people, but that's definitely how they're treating politics here. It's a closed game.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Between Tom Price and myself, we're going to be putting forward out the truth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people aren't going to like us. A lot of people will. It's your choice.
You get a really mixed reception. I've noticed that by just the last couple of weeks of talking with you and talking about what we're going to be doing here.
Yeah.
So I know it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to make it in time to catch Tom, but maybe you could fill us in on what he wanted to talk about a little bit. Just touch up on it.
Okay, well, first of all, I heard through the grapevine that Tom Price will be on your hosting your next show next Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna have him next week.
Okay, and this man, I don't know, he can tell you about basically anything. He's more of a fact number guy,
right,
compared to kicking the can on the ground with me.
Yeah, and as far as I understand from what you've told me, he himself has been in politics in Sudbury for
Yeah.
twice as long, 3 times as long as you.
Yeah, he was Michael Vagnini's advisor all through every election and so on, and a lot of people went to him for support and help and guidance and so on.
Right. I know a lot of people liked Michael Vagnini as well. Unfortunate for what happened to him, but
Yeah, exactly. And then he'll be talking about the arena, like briefly the arena. If you want to talk arena, you're talking $200 million, right, to build the arena. That's what they're stating. Well, they already spent 50.
right.
So now we're down to 150. Okay, then you're gonna add, we still got 150. So then you're gonna put up this arena for 200 million with no parking. Okay, but there is 3 parking garages on the master plan downtown.
Right.
But they just don't mention that. Well, who's paid for these parking lots?
I'm gonna guess Zulich.
No,
No.
it's the taxpayers.
Just all of them.
Zulich is paying for nothing.
Right.
In
He's
fact,
lobbied.
Zulich hasn't even signed a contract for the Wolves or the Sudbury Five with the city yet.
Interesting.
Yeah, for the arena. Okay? So now we have a $200 million arena, quote, quote, which is bullshit. Sorry about the English, but I just call it the way it is. And then we got to put in 3 parking garages. Okay? Now, when you borrow $200 million, do you owe the $200 million? Or do you owe the $200 million with interest?
It's gonna be the second one.
Okay, so we got $200 million. We still owe for 3 parking garages. We still owe $169 million on interest on $200 million for 30 years. Okay, so what? We're just under 500.
And that money escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
Just gonna point.
But
that
why
out there.
can't the friggin' city come out and say, you know what, taxpayers, it's gonna cost us between $200 and $500 million for this arena. By the time it's all said, done, and complete.
Right.
To me, it's the biggest mistake you could ever make in your life.
Mistake, and quite possibly most apparent that there's some kind of corruption or something going on.
Well, definitely. In 2017, we owed $17 million. By next year, we're going to owe $1.1 billion.
And that just doesn't add up. It's like,
No,
this
that's a big hike.
this is where the biggest thing comes in. You always got to follow the money when it comes down to dealing with politics.
Exactly.
And the nuance.
And you know, it's so foolish. Like, you just sit back and look. Yeah, we're going to get a casino out on the Kingsway now.
Right.
Okay, what does that do? That opens up another addiction. Downtown.
Yeah.
You grab your ODSP or welfare check, you head out there, you win it, you're good, you lose it, you're broke the next day.
And just everything you said there leaves actually quite a few questions. So one of the first ones I wanted to touch up on, with how they're dealing with the new arena and your outreach program being hosted out of the arena right now, how's that going to affect you?
No, that ended.
Okay, that already ended.
Yeah, that's already ended. And then, like I said, that would never happen again because the city don't talk to me.
All right.
The city don't like me.
Right. So, and that note too, another thing I was going to be asking about that, your outreach program in terms of shoes, coats, clothing, all that. Do you think it has any hand to do with things like the Jared Center and stuff closing down like that, or do you think there's just?
No. When I was open, I was the only one open.
Okay.
And I had my 2 legs. I dedicated myself to that. So if I wasn't in the clothing store, I was doing Narcan kits on the roads, saving lives. One night, I was going up and down one-way streets, doing U's up on curbs, and finally this guy stops you in a Halfton. He goes, Bob. I said, yeah. He goes, I've been following you for 4 hours. I said, oh. He goes, you're amazing. I said, well, I'm just trying to do what I can do, and that's save lives. And it was a great success that night. We did save 6 lives, and you know, you never know. And one of my pet peeves, what really killed me was when the city chased all the homeless, addictions, mental health, and criminals out of Memorial Park without a plan. So how do you chase, homelessness is one thing, But how do you chase an addict in the bush with no Narcan kits or any organizations there to help them?
Right. There's a likelihood you're just going to find a body.
Bingo.
Right.
You know, and it's so sad. There's no thinking in whatever they do down there. You know? So why are we paying, you know, we just hired another community service manager from Halifax. Never even met the guy. But why is the onion peel so thick and so many when it comes to Tom Davies Square, the Sunshine List, and the management? You know? Oh, you go tie that guy's shoe. Oh, you go get me a coffee. Oh, you go do this. You don't need 20 managers.
Right.
Get down to the program where your employees and your assistant managers on the ground doing the services, reporting back to you, and you put out the information.
Right. We just did a commentary actually about the city of Sudbury looking for more bylaw enforcement downtown and stuff. That comes back to exactly what you just said there. Why do we have 20 managers when we have all these other problems, like down to the local enforcement levels?
Okay, so why are we hiring bylaw and security, which is uneducated in all matters?
Right.
The addictions, the homeless, and the mental health. And why can I say that? Because it's true. Even the police are doing extra training and so on to get to the point and core and to solve these problems.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, they don't need the extra funding. They just need to do their job in the first place.
Well, exactly. But for me, I would put out one more officer before I would put 4 bylaw or security guards out.
Yeah, bylaw really won't be able to do too much.
No, either can security.
No.
Or don't do that or I'm going to call the police.
It's like they have 12 bylaw officers in Sudbury right now handling, I think it was 400 different laws.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, there was an encampment in Lively.
I didn't even know that.
No. And it was behind the independent grocers.
Okay.
And I broke that up. Because I called so many times and I couldn't receive help because nobody wanted to help. So I said, screw this, I'll do it myself.
Right. And do you know if they're still there? Did they?
No, it's done.
It's done. They moved to
done.
Energy Court as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, anybody that would have been left there, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah. One's in custody right now, and the other one's downtown. I'm trying to find them a place.
Okay, so it's like a small encampment behind Lively.
Yeah.
Same thing kind of happened in Chelmsford. There's only like 2 or 3 people living on the streets there, and they don't really cause too much trouble. They're just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
That's most of these people, right? They're all in a survival state. They can't afford to think about like mugging or jumping somebody.
Well, what happened in 2020, okay, before the COVID came out,
Yeah.
we had a pie, and it was the homeless pie. And the homeless had the whole pie. And as we went through COVID growing, that pie was cut in 4.
Right.
So you got the homeless, the addictions, the mental health, and the criminals, where the justice system released those people into the community.
Now they're suddenly flipping their tune on the crime stance. Yeah.
Exactly. But now, they're also getting desperate because they know the city has never provided for them.
Right.
You know? Lazar's Mansworth, downtown. When they first released the criminals, 3 people went up and took his windows out. And the police showed up and said, well, what are you doing? We want to go back to jail. It's warm, you got food, what else do you want?
Yeah, 3 square meals in a bed, right?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So the system is so badly broken that it's crazy. I watched a bylaw officer come out of Tom Davies Square, a homeless guy, addict down on the ground. The guy was sped up and swerved around him. Did he stop? No.
And that's hilarious because we just had a YouTuber Christmas list coming through Sudbury, and almost every person he's seen laying on the street, he stopped and called over for an ambulance.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like bylaw can't even be bothered to do that.
Yeah. No, I would have really liked to meet him because what he put out is what I've been saying for years.
And it's basically what you've been doing for years too.
Yeah.
It's just he has a bigger audience, I think.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Unfortunately, you won't be able to talk to him right now. He seems to be in custody in Trinidad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I admire people who speak the truth. You know what I mean? And like we can come back a year from now and it'll be the same story.
And everything will hold.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know. So me personally, the bylaw, the security, enough is enough. They can't really do nothing. Let's put an officer in replace of every 4. I'm going to tell you one thing what did help a lot, and I've been seeing it again for years, is the cops on bikes.
Right, the bicycle.
That's
bicycle
right.
Cops.
Downtown. Why?
Well, they
Why
have
does
the
this
ability
work?
to move through all these alleys a lot more efficiently. That's one thing for sure. And they have on the ground like community outreach in that sense. Like they're literally communicating with these people one on one.
What I've always said, communication, education. It's the only way we're going to solve this problem.
Yeah. 100%. I used to have this dream when I was a teenager of doing a show about bike cops, actually, just the action that they can go through in helping the community. It'd be like
Exactly.
a faux action show, but you know.
Yeah. So the homeless are getting there slowly. They will have washrooms and stuff as of November 3rd, 24/7, through the Samaritan Center, through Energy Court. So they got their washrooms. They'll have their hot showers at Samaritan Center.
Yeah, the warming center, the showers was going to be 24/7 now too, right?
The addictions, they got their weed shop and beer store. So that, you know what I mean? Like,
They're supplied.
you know, how stupid. But anyways, you know,
And I don't know, how do you approach that? Do you ever go into city council meetings or anything like that?
they don't talk to me.
Like you could show up, but they won't engage.
No, me and Tom Price have sent them letters, emails, phone calls. I've called them out on the radio on
Yeah.
CKLU. And I said, Mayor, council, anybody wants to come up for a ride with me for an hour or two, I'll cover all expenses. Come on out. Let's
Yeah.
see what the real truth is there. It's like their numbers, 96%. 96% to the people in Sudbury said, hey, that's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Break that down.
You've been doing this for a long time too, so one of the things I have to ask in that sense, you were working I guess against Brian Bigger before when you were running as mayoral candidate. Now suddenly you're against Paul. As far as I understand, Brian Bigger was more of a conservative-leaning mayor on the books, and Paul claims no political allegiance, but we can tell he's pretty in the liberal camp for things, even though he's not like registered to any party. He doesn't claim affiliation with any party.
Bigger was liberal too,
Okay.
but not as hardcore.
Right.
Okay, and not as much ego, which is really behind what Paul pushes.
Well, Paul's been in the city for a long time. Like, I believe he was the owner of the townhouse, and that's one of the big things that got him, like, his name out in Sudbury and networking, if I recall. He also worked alongside a group called Music and Film in Motion that used to exist downtown, and what they did was essentially they were a promotion company for young artists coming out of Sudbury and stuff like that.
Right.
I think that's where he got a lot of his working ability and how he got in touch with a lot of people in the city, but that put him in good touch with the youth too when he was like just starting into his political career, I guess. Him running for mayor actually kind of caught me blindsided because he was into so many other things that I didn't expect him to be interested in civics to that degree.
Oh, I knew he was right up, going right there. And I also knew that Bigger was going to drop out so Paul could have a nice clean win.
Right.
Me and Bigger never got along, but I'm going to tell you, the fourth debate was at the movie theater over on Mackenzie Street.
Okay, the Sudbury Indie Cinema.
And yeah, and I walked in and I'm walking to my chair and Brian gets up and he meets me in the middle. He shakes my hand, doesn't say a word, and turns around and goes and sits down.
It's kind of like a good luck thing.
Yeah, and I respect him for that. You know, like it's hard. Like, I mean, I don't know everything, but
Yeah.
you know, and I can't do it all by myself. But
Yeah, it's
we can.
right.
And the key there is we. I don't plan to go spend everybody's money on what I want because it's not about me, which is happening right now. Okay? The only way to save this city and the $1.1 billion debt what we're going to have next year is to clean house.
Right. So accountability, transparency, audits.
Yeah. And where does that start? Mayor, all the council, half the general managers, okay, buy it. We get rid of 4 general managers, that's $1 million savings.
And there's no reason that they need a salary that high anyway. Most public service workers don't take a salary that.
Exactly. It's like the game they play in Sudbury, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I want to, I've had enough. I want to end it.
You just go an hour and a half to North Bay, 2 hours to North Bay, and it's a dramatic difference.
Oh, definitely.
And
go to Espanola, it's different.
Espanola is a beautiful little town right now.
You know?
And the investment that's going in there, it's like the band actually seems to want to care to resuscitate what's going on with Espanola and Manitoulin.
Exactly.
And there's this huge exodus of natural-born Sudburyans moving to Manitoulin Island because of the amount of immigration and homelessness and addiction that's plaguing the city.
Exactly. Like there's no help for Canadian mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're booked. I mean, we have no help. I had a client a couple of weeks. I fought for a good 4 weeks trying to get him in somewhere. Well, we're full. Go to the courthouse, get a treatment bond. Take him to the hospital. He's released 4 hours later. The system has failed so bad.
So what do you think took Canada here, let alone Sudbury?
Oh, our justice system has to be totally overhauled, and it's so simple to fix.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You wear fancy shoes, and I always believe in no ties, no lies. So you walk around, they walk around with their ties and their fancy shoes. Yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You know what? It's so simple. The criminal justice system can be cleaned up in a week. What do you mean a week, Johnson? What the hell are you talking about? You're caught for fentanyl, selling fentanyl, buddy, you're a dealer.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to jail for murder.
I mean...
And if I can't prove it, it'll be minimum attempted murder.
Right, because I mean, you did sell them a basically, you know, lethal drug in every aspect of it.
How do you argue with that? You can't.
Yeah.
But no. What kind of lollipop would you like? The cherry or lemon today, and we'll see you later.
Right.
The catch and release program. All you're doing is fishing.
Yeah.
Oh, too small, put it back.
Yeah, Mark Carney actually just announced that he would be ending the catch and release and rehauling the entire thing for criminal reform. We haven't got a lot of details out of it yet, but any hopes?
Well, no, I don't believe it. No.
No, it's hard.
I've watched the failure. Like, yeah, I'm going to come back to Sudbury and tell you about the failure. Okay. Late 90s, I worked at Cecil Fraser Youth Center for just over 2 years.
Unfortunately, now closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had 126 inmates there at all times. Always. Open door, closed door, you know. We used to grow get the inmates to grow the vegetables down here, send it up to Monteith. Monteith would send us meat. I also worked in group homes for 8 years. Now we have one.
I didn't even know we had one. Actually, I thought they closed them all.
No, we have one. So where did these other 7 group homes who house anywhere from 8 to 15 people go? Right. Did somebody have this magic wand and turn everybody into angels?
I know for a long time, tents were scattered all over the city, like all over. I don't see them so much anymore.
No. Youth centers, which was the playgrounds at the corners or whatever. Okay, back in let's go back, we'd have to go back about 20 years, but still, we had youth centers where kids could go after school and talk, etc., etc.
Even clubs in school. Kids don't really do that no more.
There's nothing. And if I tell you what I've seen today, honest to God, it's going to make you sick. Cedar Street, 15 teenagers, about 14 years old. 4 were girls. What were they doing? Across from the bus station.
Right.
Yeah. Shooting up. Made me sick. Made me damn sick.
I mean, as young as, I think, 12, 13, I mean, some of the schools in Sudbury are telling their kids that they can't lay their heads down on their desks for fear of nodding out and stuff like that. So, I mean, the drug culture is perverse down to such a level. And that comes from the care of parents, too. Like, that, there's a big part of that.
But hang on now I'm going to stick up for the parents. Back in the day, Mom was home. Homework, laundry, dinner, that was at work. Now we're forced to have the double income come in.
Yeah, it's almost
Or we
impossible
drown.
otherwise.
But do you blame the parents? I don't. I go back and state what happened to our school boards. What happened to the school boards? What happened to our shop classes?
Yeah,
Electricity, auto mechanics, home ec, chef's training. I can go on and on.
I see it in my stepson. The school system is failing our kids.
That's right. Now, how easy or hard would it be to implement that back? Because it was a great success.
You need teachers that care.
Exactly.
That's a huge part of it, Bob. Like this is probably one of my biggest plights, and one of the big reasons I wanted to start like getting into local civics like this is to educate kids.
That's right.
Because
Now,
these kids need to know.
I got another question.
Yeah.
When we went to school at 9 and we finished at 3.
Yeah.
We never had 2 spares all through the day.
Or this, that was my grade 12, 13 year, basically.
Yeah. So why the hell aren't they going to school from 9 to 3? Train them like a job. Take those 2 spares. One with life skills or addictions or mental health or whatever.
Oh, those 2 spares, I filled them up with a co-op. That's exactly what.
Exactly. But no, like why?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense to me. Those should, addictions, mental health, life skills should be mandatory subjects, let alone not being taught.
Home economics, taking that out of school was one of the biggest mistakes we've had. Like most of my generation already doesn't know how to do their own laundry or cook for themselves. So we're in this situation, and if we had home economics, I feel like that would be a big difference. Like my parents grew up with home economics in the Canadian high school system, and they have it down. Like they have it down.
Exactly.
Not everybody in my generation does.
Well, I'd like you to maybe pull in Mike Belmore one day.
Mike Belmore, not familiar with the name.
No, he president of the Catholic School Board.
Okay.
Real nice guy. I give him credit. Also, our Saturday Night TV bingo guy
Okay.
on TV.
Right.
Great guy, heart of gold, and I really think at least you should have a phone call with him.
Yeah, I'll have to give him a call for sure. One of the things that interests me about you bringing him up even is I actually thought the Sudbury Catholic School Board was completely opposite end of politics of you. It's like I've gotten so many impressions that they were like heavily embedded with liberal policy, which I mean we are in a liberal country.
Okay, you know what I call all that? I call all that friggin' baloney.
Right.
And you put it all together and you got a sandwich. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I care about the core of the problem, about these kids on the street, nowhere to go, no help, and we put up a nice white cross for them.
Yeah.
I call BS on that.
Skip the headlines, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about the fancy shoes. Throw away your tie. Let's all come together as a team, work as a team, get back on the roads together to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can worry about who's who and what's what,
Right.
And that's my outlook, and that's the way I feel, and that's another angle what we're going to have to change in order to make society a better place.
And well, one of the big things too is like getting all these people off the streets in Sudbury that you've been advocating for so long. That would change our entire work culture here again. It's
Definitely.
I think it was since the end of the pandemic. For my restaurant, I was having such a hard time hiring anybody.
Yeah.
It was a lack of willingness to work from the serve and conditioning. And Canada's a really interesting beast in that sense. Like I've taken behavioral neuroscience, and one of the things that really led me into the interest for that was trying to understand the movements of society, period. How we get to these levels where people are in, desperation and not willing to do anything about it, essentially. Then what it came down to is actually a very interesting story and a lot of lawsuits that come up about this. Have you ever heard of a Canadian doctor named Dr. Ewan Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so he was the doctor that was famous for the psychic driver experiments. And the goal of the experiments were to help condition mental health issues and addiction, stem addiction, and cut them off at the source through de-patterning of the person's like actual psyche and personality. So they would basically use repetitive patterns and repetitive imagery, repetitive sounds to completely strip the core personality of the person that was being subjected to the experiment. And the reason for the lawsuits is because a lot of people in Canada were put under these against their will. A lot of people didn't know that they were being subjected to these. It involved like people not being able to sleep, people not being able to remember their father's name, their father's face, incontinence issues. They can't even get out of bed and use the bathroom themselves anymore. Yeah. It's like absolutely tarnished the lives out of these people. And you know what they were awarded for all of this through their settlements? A cumulative $100,000 for 77 people in Canada. Yeah. And there's a class action lawsuit still related to it. It's still going on today as of 2025.
But no offense, okay? Sometimes we're our worst enemies.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you anything about my body. I can tell you everything about my medication I take and why I take it, okay? And a lot of people just walk into a clinic or a doctor's office, hospital, oh, this is my problem, blah, blah, blah. Well, how the hell does a doctor know you in 5 minutes? They don't.
That's why we have the concept of
there you go. So there's your prescription, you know?
Yeah.
Lose my first leg. Oh, Mr. Johnston, what size of perks would you like? Keep your perks, buddy.
Yeah.
Lose my other leg. Mr. Johnston, what type of perks do you want? Keep your perks. The highest I've ever done, and I don't take painkillers much, would be Tylenol 3.
Right. Or maybe ibuprofen.
I can't because of my kidney transplant.
Ah, makes sense.
But see, it's what you know about your body, what you can take, what you can't take.
Yeah.
What you have to do to keep it in shape and go on and go on. I mean, I'm not bragging, but not too many people would have went through what I went through and still be alive.
No, not a lot of people have the willpower to do what you're doing with all these conditions.
Exactly.
It's like a lot of people are defeated.
On the other hand, why am I so lucky? Why do you take my legs and let me walk again? Why do you take my kidney and let me function again?
I think a lot of Christians would say you have a goal, a mission.
I believe it's because I've always paid it forward.
Right.
I've always helped people before I help myself. And I'm not saying that's always right. But what I'm saying is if we all look out and start wearing everybody else's shoes, okay, which is the story of your shoes, you'll understand where the people are coming from. And instead of judging, you'll be acting and feeling it out. Right. Which is a big difference. Oh no, look, oh no, it's nice, no good. Some of these homeless people are the nicest people you could ever meet.
Absolutely, and they shouldn't even be in those situations in a lot of cases.
Exactly. In 2020, I had 85% of the people off the street, ready for housing, and I couldn't get help anywhere. So...
the mental health conditions that Canada's
are terrible.
They brought people to their knees, like straight up.
Terrible.
Or on their backs, 6 feet in the ground, right?
Oh, exactly.
And I mean, we can look to other countries that are really tight on crime for maybe some kind of example. Like the U.S. is starting to shape up right now. The U.S. references to El Salvador a lot in terms of a lot of things, but they're full like fascist at this point and tyrannical in that sense. So there's got to be some kind of balance for Canada too, because I mean Canada's got to be more honest with itself too in that sense. Granted, I was just talking about the Ewan Cameron cases. Like if we were more honest in the sense that, you know, we were willing to talk about the experiments that we're willing to push onto people, right, and the science that we actually want to push, it'd be a pretty interesting world for one, because Canada would be coming out and saying, hey, we've been the capital for trying to work on mind control for a long time.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
And, like, that's conspiratorial of me to say, but a lot of people don't know how many lawsuits actually just went into this. And again, with the case of Dr. Ewan Cameron, he was one of the people that enforced the standards of the Geneva Convention, and then as a Canadian scientist went and backtracked on all of them for the sake of studying mental health.
Right.
Right? Which the CIA and CSIS declared was an overwhelming failure. Because he had so many failures. But why is it all still practiced in the media?
Well, it's like...
Why is it pushed on us?
It's like COVID. You know, you sit back now and you look at COVID and blah, blah, blah. In 2 weeks they had a an injection solution to solve all the problems.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, hundreds of years and there's no help for diabetes, nothing for cancer. Like, come on.
Right.
Let's
Well, there is now after the pandemic.
Yeah, but like, let's call the BS with the BS. For example, I had a kidney transplant in 2015. Every year you have to go for a heart examination. Perfect, up to 13 years, perfect. I go up and I decide, because my 5 doctors said get 5 shots. I said after 2, bullshit. Next thing I know, I'm in the hospital, they're cutting me open, tearing out my main heart valve, putting in a cow valve, and wishing me the best. Well,
Just going almost full archaic with them where they could.
yeah, So where did all of a sudden this heart issue come from?
So as one question, did they ever offer you the new mRNA insulin? I believe they have an mRNA vaccination for insulin now.
Oh yeah, I know. Because I wouldn't even talk to them.
Okay. See, that was something I believe the Canadian government's been working on for the better part of 2 decades now, is an mRNA vaccine for diabetes.
Yeah.
But I believe they also have a pill now. I think. The US does anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe anybody right now. None of them have truth and facts.
Right.
So you know what? I'll take my daily insulin. I'll take my daily medication. And if the big guy wants me in the sky, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, he'll come.
But I'm not a guinea pig anymore. I've done it,
Right.
And
So your time in health science north then, that sounds kind of like, it was a rough go.
rough going to answer. It was crazy with like a shutdown, so nobody could come visit me. That's the COVID, but that was COVID excuses. I had foreign nurses coming in, trying to give me a needle with the cap still on.
So was this pre-COVID or post-COVID or during?
But during,
During.
I had the head nurse come up to me and say, you be careful with the nurses. I said, look, if they're not going to take the cap off the needle, I'm going to have an issue.
Yeah.
The basics are the basics. And then you got your head honcho floor manager coming by. Oh, Mr. Johnston, I see you got a coffee cup. Keep it if you want water. We don't have any cups. Yeah, that's how bad it was.
You're not kidding.
Oh, no, it was deadly. It was deadly.
That only brings back one thought. In 1994, Democratic Republic of North Korea started shifting their social health care system for the worse.
Yeah.
Because they were out of money.
Yeah.
And that's a slow and steady decline of the universal health care system when it's all funded by taxpayers that don't make money to pay taxes.
No. And then, that's the trauma I went through. And you know what all went through my mind? Like I was in there 125 days straight. And the only thing that went through my mind is if I'm getting treated like this, what about the 70, 80-year-old seniors?
Yeah.
Who don't have the or the drive or
yeah.
scared to say something.
Pioneer Manor has killed many of them.
Definitely.
And just through neglect alone. Like, I can't say that they've gone with the intent to kill people, but the people that they hire don't have the passion for the job. These people take the paycheck. One of the most evil things I learned when I was at Laurentian, like, the evil things was in neuropharmacology. So studying how drugs affect the brain. The 4th year of that is actually a course on how to market drugs to the public and how to build rapport with doctors so that you can sell pharmaceuticals.
Exactly.
And that's why I was like, oh, this is sick care, not health care.
Exactly.
That's when I really started to understand that statement.
Yep.
It's like the whole goal is to keep you in the hospital and keep you paying, right? More than anything.
Oh, I had one doctor, he's a psychologist. I don't know why he came to see me. Anyway, walks in and he goes, yeah, mister, you're doing it into yourself, eh? I looked at him, what? He goes, you and your damn booze, that's all you are is an alcoholic. And I said, keep it up. That's exactly what I did. I said, keep it up, buddy, and I'm going to kick it through the window. Mm-hmm. I am a doctor. You can't talk to me that way. I said, you don't even know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, the nurse is coming in. Oh, Mr. Johnston, I'm so sorry. The doctor mistaken you for somebody else. Blah, 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 blah.
Should have shut his mouth before he even
Exactly.
said it.
I said, he can't apologize to me? No. I got it suspended for 6 months. my right foot. I go into the emerge. I said, there's something going on in my foot. Oh, well, here's some antibiotics, go home. I said, no, I want an x-ray. They call in security. Oh, this guy's getting rough, blah, 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 blah. Come on, give me a break. I said, there's something wrong with my foot. Mm-hmm. And, they kept saying, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with your foot. And just go home. I said, can I get an x-ray, please? And they kept saying, no. And I said, you got to x-ray my foot. Where is it here?
So you had to basically push for a second, third, fourth opinion.
No. You see that?
Okay, yeah.
See the whole side gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my foot.
So you were hit with full-on necrosis, basically.
It blew my whole side of my foot out the next morning. And I had no hope in hell of saving nothing.
Yeah, no.
And the pain.
At that point, the doctors looked at it and they were probably like, I guess we have to amputate.
Yeah, exactly. But, and that's the thing. Always get a second opinion. Because you have good doctors and bad doctors.
Absolutely. They're just normal people.
But the problem is the good doctors are so overworked that they become bad doctors too.
Yeah.
A
lot of the problem with the Canadian ones too is a lot of the good doctors long left.
Yeah, and
places that actually pay them.
Exactly. 2023, I had a doctor walk in and say, "Oh, Bob, we're going to cut you above the knee, or you have some infection." I said, "Where's the infection?" They said, "At the tip of your bone, your stump." I said, "Good, that's what we're taking off." Over 2 years later, and I haven't had a problem. So the key, and my advice to people, is know what your illness is, understand what your medication does for you, understand what happens when you miss it, and when you go in, you can have a conversation with your doctor and discuss what the issues are, instead of them telling you when they don't even know you.
Yeah, exactly. You know your body more than you, so just discussing the ideas in them would give you more insight realistically than the doctor's going to have, right?
Exactly.
Like you personally knowing. Sure, you might not know a lot of the big fancy words that they use. You might not know the terminology entirely. You might not even know the condition that you have, but you know what it feels like.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And it's like people who are sitting at home right now with mental health issues and so on. You know what? And I'm not a doctor from far, but my advice is communication and getting out in society. Whether it's just to walk down in front of your house, to the mailbox, to whatever, get that little bit of outside in you.
There's so many people on the internet are saying right now, go touch some grass, right?
Yeah, exactly, You can't sit on your couch.
Yeah.
You can't feel sorry for yourself. Why? That's not going to change nothing.
Well, the internet's adapted the term pretty well. We used to have the term bed rot for a reason, and now it's evolved to brain rot.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a combination of the two. You're sitting in bed rotting all day. Your body is atrophying. It only takes 3 days for your muscles to atrophy. It really doesn't take long.
Exactly.
And what do you think happens to the brain? The brain's an organ and a muscle just as much.
Like I love every morning. Get up, put on my legs, and I'm gone with my hand controls in my bed. Mm-hmm. What else do you want in life?
Well, it must be a pretty interesting paradigm for you too, in that sense. Robotic legs are just around the corner in their fullest sense. I don't know how available to Canadians they'll be, but there's some interesting innovations for people in your situation right now.
There is.
Crazy interesting innovations. I seen an amputee with a robot hand that had Bluetooth connectability, so he was able to literally take his hand off and have it crawl across the floor like the thing. And go grab his beer.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not worried about that stuff.
Right.
You're
focused more on other people.
Yeah, I did my 9 lives. I'm just going to keep kicking that can and helping out as many people as I can. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of people downtown that really, 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 really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking to get more of a perspective about downtown too, but I feel like the best thing I could do would be to go downtown with you for that.
You're welcome to it anytime.
It's maybe just go walk around, see the people you meet, and maybe gather some more of their perspectives, because that's the biggest thing. Getting their perspectives on a camera to the public is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah. But, like I said, I don't even go to my van.
Right.
You know, and I can if I had to, but I don't have to. They come to me. And
They're just like, oh, it's Bob. Like,
yeah, like, let's wait about 10 days. I got some blankets coming in, and we'll go deliver the blankets,
sure.
and we'll do a little story.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually, there's another person from downtown that I've been wanting to talk to as well. He used to be a regular at my restaurant as well, Jeff Redcliffe. I think you might...
Recollect?
Or Redcliffe, I think his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's always downtown helping people tons right now.
Yeah.
Handing out, pop, snacks, cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, what we have to do is bring the 12 solid organizations together who can go out and get into the nitty gritty and build that relationship and communication with these people to move it forward.
Well, there's a lot of different moving parts too, because a lot of these people are in homeless situations for different reasons. So, we were talking about Christina Scarpolini earlier with the Angels of Hope. So one of the things there, she deals with a lot of the same issues you do in that sense. A lot of these girls that have been trafficked, or even people that have been trafficked, end up in that situation just because they don't know how to get themselves out of it anymore.
That's right.
And so, like, what do you do?
Once it turns over to survival mode,
Yeah.
it's hard to beat it. Really hard to beat it.
Like,
But like I said, Energy Court, they're making the mistake of keeping the beer store and weed store there. Number one. I hope the rest is successful. But unless they get the addictions and the mental health and the criminal activity all under control and that pie cut up in four like it should be, we're gonna go nowhere.
right.
Now, let's talk about our policing.
Oh, there's a huge thing there. I stumbled into the whole Jerry Loughy scandal today, and I believe he sits at the head of the GSPS board for property taxes.
Yeah.
Was what it was. And so I think a lot of it stems from the money that's going up there. We don't really see where it goes.
No, but one of my concerns, and I've experienced this, is the police now are stuck in the middle. They have society on one side, and they have the court system on the other.
Right.
So when they bring in anybody for whatever reason, whether it's a warrant or whatever for their arrest, the next morning, in front of a judge, they're on bail. They're out. And you can't be doing that. You have to make a mark. And I don't care who it is. I don't care if it was my brother, son,
The concept
whoever.
of setting an example, right?
Yeah. And if you make one example out of everybody, your problems are solved. Because that rotating door will stop.
Yeah.
And the people selling their fentanyl and their goodies and human trafficking, etc., will stop.
The human trafficking is probably one of the most interesting ones to try and figure out the pathway to how to stop it. I mean, slavery in that sense has been probably one of the, I would still say, is the driving economy for the world.
Oh, definitely.
It's like excluding like maybe the West, but even then, America and Canada are so bad for it right now.
Exactly.
It's like
Exactly.
it's a core of the huge like underground economy and how gangs are able to operate in the first place. So.
Right. Going back to HSN. Another severe problem with HSN is their security guards are wannabe cops. Okay.
Yeah, and some of their nurses too.
Yeah. So what happens if anybody goes in as under the Alcoholic Act or Mental Health Act? They're basically put in their room, shot up with some kind of whatever drug they're using to mellow them out, and they make sure nobody's around. Okay, and that I know because my sister went through it. They strapped her to the bed. She was drunk one night, yes, but she's not violent. She's 110 pounds. Okay,
Right.
and they strapped her to the bed. They wouldn't even let her get up to go to the washroom.
And
So she's sitting there in urine and everything else.
so incontinence happened because I mean that's what alcohol will do. And
Yeah, and that was about 2 years ago. Now, 4 weeks ago, I bring in a client. "Oh, Mr. Johnston, you got to leave. You got to go in the waiting room." Why? It's not causing any problems. Why? Makes no sense to me. And then here I see the nurse putting on her rubber gloves, her little candy tray, 5 security. Oh, one comes up to me. I said, "Don't even get any closer, buddy. You want to be?"
Mm-hmm.
And he stopped right there. And I said, "You give me my time. I'm disabled. Might take me 20 minutes to 3 hours to get out of here."
Yeah.
You know, just playing with them. And the next thing I know, they all go into the room and boom, boom. Drug him up, put him down, and out he goes. And that's happening a lot. And it's so sad.
It's an excuse for them to not do their job.
That's
on
right.
one level.
That's right. It is. The care, you know, and I'm glad you said about that, because now they want to add another wing to HSN. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why? "Oh, because I make $500,000 a year and I make decisions." How about forgetting the wing at HSN, putting that wing out at Kirkwood, on Kirkwood Drive, under the mental health and addictions?
Didn't they close the Kirkwood?
No. Oh, no,
Okay.
that's full capacity.
Okay.
And that's working with North Bay. Put another wing out there. The doctors who are out there are psychologists, in addiction counseling, and they look after those patients.
Mm-hmm.
HSN looks after their patients. Get that addiction, mental health stigma out of there and put them down where it belongs. And run our hospital the way it should be ran. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It's just simple common sense.
Yeah.
And it's so sad.
Then one of the interesting things about this, I'm thinking, is essentially how they're playing with the funding here on Health Sciences North. Because I mean, they're in so much debt. They're in so much debt. I don't even know how their hospital is actually functioning or running.
Okay, so
Same
let's
thing with Laurentian.
So let's put 2 + 2 together. Giroux gets voted in at Laurentian University.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just about puts it in bankruptcy, which basically did.
Yeah.
What did we do?
They shifted him right off to.
Well, we gave him a beautiful dinner and rolled out the carpet for HSN.
Yeah.
What did he do to HSN?
Now they're broke too. Yeah.
So now where is he?
I actually don't know.
Ottawa.
Okay. He moved,
Okay.
He just got upgraded.
Like, how do you even friggin' cope with people like that?
And how do you not see it as an organized takedown?
Exactly.
Like, how do you not?
Why do people worry about their paycheck so much? Yeah, we need it and everything else. Do you know that the city has told their staff not to talk to Tom Price or myself?
And Tom Price has had such a long go in politics, you'd think somebody would want to.
Oh, they all want to talk to us. They're told they can't,
Right.
or they're unemployed. I had one staff member under community services pull up in the city car. I said, "Bob, sorry, we can't talk to you anymore." I said, "I got your number, I'll call you." I said, "Okay, thank you." "Well, why can't you talk to me?" "Well, because I was told I can't talk to you."
Do you think there's any one thing that you said specifically that really got you on the shit list?
Oh, no, it's from the last election.
Right, it was just you even putting your name in the race.
Yeah, like Lefebvre coming up and saying, "Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that." Go back to the 22 elections. Listen to all these councillors and mayor. There's not a shovel big enough to clean up the mess they made. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no truth to anything.
Well, it kind of sounds like the way the city runs. You'll need like a whole 2 or 3 construction companies like Interpaving or Belange to help that mess.
Oh,
And I say that sarcastically.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we had another thing with Tom. We'll talk to you about his roads, which is in front of Costco. Frank Gupta came in, did a project, and great success, perfect. Warranted it for 5 years. City comes and says, "Oh no, we can't have that. You're out."
Right.
Well, that's in court right now. We'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the city is bullies, and now they're starting to bully the taxpayers, which is really getting me upset.
I feel like they've been doing it for about a good part of a decade now.
Well, Maley Drive.
Yeah.
They put in Maley Drive without asking Delron for his property.
Yeah, they just took all that swampland that was back
$11
there.
million is what Delron got for that.
So he did fight it in court then.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Not only that, they kissed his ass.
So not everybody's able to do that though. The city's actually doing that with a lot of people over in Marks Day Warren. I've heard of people having their property lines being assessed by the city for increased housing.
Exactly.
But they know that they've got those property lines, you know. The city can't just come take it, but they're going to because these people can't fight them legally.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, down the Kingsway where they want to put the casino.
Oh, phone call?
Where they want to put the casino. We have a yellow brick road there.
Right.
Where's that yellow brick? Jerry Montpellier, where's that yellow brick road leading to?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know?
I don't.
About Zulich's 250 lot properties back there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
So we're paying his road. We're paying this for that.
There's so many roads up in northern, like the Cape area. They're all private roads, private access.
So how do you get the casino from closing Chelmsford to open on?
And what are you going to do with that space? That's one of the things I've been wondering. Once they close the horse, like the horse track, like the derbies, I was like, that is so much dead space now. Like this place is inevitably going to die.
Yeah, but Zulich blew that, or McIsaac blew that on his own.
Okay.
Number one, when the city's getting 2-3 payments of $500,000 each time from the casino to the city, my first demand would be keep our roads top par. They let them run into being cow paths, which means, yeah, we do need a new casino because we get new roads.
Yeah.
You know, that's a public eye.
Or you just made me think of a movie, Walking Tall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
Based
know,
on a true story.
McIsaac could have said, coulda and shoulda, did so much with that property. Busy. He could have did so much. Originally, he was supposed to have bandstands on the left-hand side in his big field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he had plans for a 28 room motel.
Right.
And then he had the racetrack where it could have been skidoo racing or whatever.
That would have been actually pretty cool.
Exactly. You know, there's so many opportunities.
Mm-hmm. People in Chemmy and Dowling would have loved that.
Oh, of course. And then what does he do with his barns? Well, number one, you keep antique cars in there all winter long.
Oh, is that what's in those?
No, they're all falling down.
Right.
And then in the summertime, you keep all the skidoos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, Kate's Country Kitchen has the land to do it, and they kind of do it there.
Yeah.
The snowmobilers. It's like there's so much. Then again, how far off the trail, like for snow machiners and stuff, would that be? Like, is that really? But if it's a racetrack, they're just gonna bring them there on the trailers anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'd still be an excellent idea to do with that space, even when they move it. Like I've been trying to think, what are they even gonna do with it?
Me and Jerry Montpellier put on a car show one time.
At the casino?
Yeah, and we put it in the racetrack. 375 cars.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a great show.
Yeah. So
But,
do you work with classic cruisers, Sudbury classic cruisers? Or is it your own outfit?
My own.
Okay.
Like I'm friends with some.
Yeah,
but,
like you guys probably show up and...
Yeah, like I have cruising for organ donors.
Okay.
And when I came back from my kidney transplant, that's where me and Councilor Montpellier jumped aboard and put in the little park on Warren Street across from the Independent.
Right.
It's got the 3 benches, a flagpole, tombstone, and we put that in. And then we started cruising for organ donors. So,
Okay.
yeah, what we do is we collect money and so on, and we go back out and give it out to the charities in the community.
Right.
So, yeah, like I said, you know, we got to go back to the school as a recap. Get the life skills, the addictions, the mental health, home ec, electrician, woodwork, and all that back into play.
Since I know you're so much actually about the education part of it, one of the things that was actually a great idea that Himal and I were going to be doing was we're going to be doing outreach to schools so we could do like those gymnasium style pep rallies to try and get some civic engagement and do mock town halls so that kids can start to get an understanding of the process.
Right.
It's like we're living in a time right now, strangely enough, where politics is pop culture.
Yeah.
Right? And so I've never seen so many 16 to 20-year-olds be aware of who a president or prime minister is.
Yeah.
Never would they have cared before. But all of a sudden, there's this deep need for engagement, and a lot of it comes from these kids having parents that weren't, right? So these parents just go to work, do their 9 to 5, come back home, sit on the couch, and then go into their mode on their computer or their addictions. Whatever that addiction may be. It could be your phone, you could be a chronic drinker, you could be video game addict, like all of those things. It's like the plight of the millennial generation of parents. And a lot of those kids that are like Gen Alpha, Gen Z that are coming out of millennial parenting are desperate for something with control and desperate for something with like structure.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like they were
Like
raised without it.
Like I learned that back in 2022 when I won both school boards for the mayoral candidate race. I'm going, geez, these young kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do run next year, I would. I'm hoping to bank on them.
It's a good place to start right now. The youth vote is what's changing everything.
Yeah.
We've seen that with Charlie Kirk in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like he did Turning Point, and I think there's 56,000 chapters in schools across the U.S. right now, maybe even more. But what they do is essentially they have like little social clubs where kids get together and they practice debate in town hall.
Right.
It's one of the most important things I've ever thought about conceptualizing for schools today, other than maybe home economics or something.
Yeah.
Because that's a different type of home economics. We're talking about political economics of the country that you call a home. So
Yeah.
how else do you take care of it? Because our civics and careers classes are garbage now.
Yeah. No, we got to go back. We got to go back to day one.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it, but no, you know, we got to move on. No, we got to grow. No, we got to bring back the word care, love, respect.
And there are a few things to update. I mean, like the Ontario School Board curriculum for public schools and high schools hasn't changed since 1998.
Yeah.
Like some parts of it have, but there's a lot of core stuff in there that hasn't changed.
There's a lot of life skills what are missing.
Mm-hmm.
And the life skills, well, they're either going to save your life or they're going to give you a different scope on moving forward on your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no harm. You can't have harm at all.
Yeah.
Or are we giving these guys their 2 spares, and usually a spare ends up with a lunch? Well, where do you go?
Downtown.
Exactly. Get yourself in trouble for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in Sudbury Secondary, that was the goal. But downtown was a lot more peaceful then. It's like even just 10, 15 years ago, downtown was flourishing, I would want to say. Like it actually had vibrancy and like foot traffic everywhere all the time.
Exactly.
Like, even the Pokemon Go days, like when that just came out, that was just before the pandemic, I think. And I would remember so many people making those rounds all the way through the downtown core, because like they basically had it set up from all of Elm Street. You had a bunch of stuff that crossed through all of Memorial Park and it crossed through all of the one-ways downtown. And so you had all these kids making this lap in this circle, and it made business flourish.
Exactly.
We don't have that anymore though, because I mean the pandemic killed the social attitude in that aspect. A lot of people are favoring isolationism over community now more than anything. And
you know, I was running a shelter when COVID started. And did you know that not one homeless had COVID?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
They tried to force them all though, right?
Oh, exactly. I ran a shelter at a Grace Family Church in the basement. And I'm not bragging. And I got facts on this, but it was the best shelter ever ran in Sudbury. 0 security. 0 paid staff.
It was all volunteer driven?
All volunteers. And the key was communication
Yeah.
and education.
That's what I was about to say. It must have been all communication.
Cops were there once for the whole year. Then I went to a nightmare. And now one organization is getting 850 grand for the year. And the other one is getting 850 grand for the year.
And
Am I jealous? No. All I want to see is these people getting help. And like I said, core help. Let's hear what they have to say. Let's hear what they want to do. And how can we move them forward?
well, I mean, jealous or vindicated. A lot of people criticize the current programs and initiatives that we have for the homeless, like they're not doing enough. And that's a lot of funding. That's a lot of funding to be able to say that they're not doing enough,
That's right.
right?
And not knowing the numbers,
Yeah.
which gets me. You know what I mean? They have no clue on the numbers.
Well, Christina from Angels of Hope, she recently got a ton of money from the federal government to help with what she's doing. I would say she's spending that money very wisely.
Well, I'm not scared, and I've always just said it. Christina Scapellini, Angel of Hope, is the best organization in Sudbury, Ontario.
So I don't know the extent of all that they do, but I know they help a lot with the human trafficking victims and stuff like that. And I think it's quite the noble journey right now, especially like I think she recently teamed up with the Modern Beauty College downtown to get some haircut for a survivor.
Right.
And like, bring her back into society, like catch her up. I think it's such an awesome initiative. And it's one of the things I was thinking about doing for a while. Like one of my very good friends is she's at the Modern Beauty College downtown, and she's been talking about possibly getting out and for all these people that are on the streets right now.
Right.
They want to get a job. It's really hard to clean up. Give them all a haircut. Just give them all a haircut for free. See if they want to do it. See if they even just want it so they feel better. Right?
Self-value goes a long ways.
It does.
And when you're so used to having no washrooms at 8 o'clock at night because a toilet fairy turns it off and you got to hold it or urinate or whatever on a wall until 8 o'clock the next morning, we have problems.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen people downtown in wheelchairs that probably does not work for them.
Well, that was me. No. No, exactly. But it's even difficult for everybody. Knowing that you got to go, and there's no facility.
Mm-hmm. And they don't let them into the bus station anymore, if I recall.
No. So where do you go? You don't. You like back to your pants. And then you either just walk around soiled, which really lowers the self-esteem.
Oh, yeah.
Until
feel it, you
until
don't
whatever.
want to talk. Basically, you just feel,
But yeah, so just a recap of what we talked about. Energy Court, where the Samaritan Center is supposed to move. I'm happy, but there's got to be a lot more work done. Why do we have a pot store and a beer store at their entrance? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Do we care about these people? Because we're not going to help. Not with those two businesses.
There's people at Energy Court that have impressive setups, so it seems like they've been doing it for a long time too. Like some of the people that are like encamped there right now.
You see the guy with the windows?
He's got windows. He's got his own wood stove that he built himself. He welded it. Like he welded it with his own hands.
Oh yeah.
So these people are very resourceful, and there's a lot of cases too where people are doing that specifically, like building their wood stove, living off the land, and like the homelessness.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Like I think that guy might want to do that, but what can we do to help him out?
Survival, and I don't care. I get on Facebook. Well, they don't want help. Well, bullshit. They do want help. Where's the help though? Where is the help though? And how long do they have to wait?
Yeah.
Because they've gone so far, and now they're walking against the wall, and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, even that guy, like I was saying, who builds his own wood stove, he probably wants help. Guaranteed.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
He's just doing his best to make through with what he has, and he might even be complacent or happy with the situation to some degree. Maybe he likes that lifestyle, but doesn't discount the ability to give help.
Exactly. And then as far as back to life skills, let's get these school boards going on the electricians and chef's training, you name it. Let's bring all that back. Let's bring back some life skills on addictions and mental health, bonding together. you know?
Right.
So the people who do need help can actually work off each other and get that help. Instead of everybody going home knowing, thinking negative, what tomorrow brings. The police are the justice system. If that don't change, nothing's going to change. And if nothing's going to change, we can spend all the money we want in the world.
We got to be able to get some serious people that actually care about law enforcement.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of them left during the pandemic, if I recall, for the sale. A lot of the reasons the nurses did too.
Now, you know, like I took law enforcement too. I graduated with honors. And you know what I can't figure out through COVID is a lot went on COVID leave or a lot went on mental health leave.
Yeah.
You know,
they had that moment
bringing
of
up a
silence.
situation, They
had a whole moment of silence for everybody that was fired.
Did you hear about the one who stole knives out of Costco?
A police officer?
A sergeant.
A sergeant? No,
Suspended 6 months. Do we all hear about that?
Oh, absolutely not. It depends how many knives he was trying to take. Like,
Well, I'm sitting there going, knives. Is it for the barbecue or is he slicing and dicing? You know, who knows nowadays? There again, it's not going to be
Costco
mental
knives
health
are
leave.
cheap too. It makes me wonder why you want to steal those knives.
Well,
like
exactly.
as a chef, like I've got a few $400 knives.
Yeah.
They're not from Costco.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, it makes you wonder where today's society is. A couple of years back, we had satellites of policing all over through Sudbury, and they're all gone now. The one in Lively, well, guess what's in their police station satellite now? A weed store. Imagine that.
I didn't even know we had satellite infrastructure or anything like that. There was
One in
actually-
Valcarin was just before Tim Hortons on the right in that strip mall.
Okay.
The one in Lively was right beside Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea that was even a thing here. It's like last time I was talking to a police officer was at a recruitment rally in the downtown or New Sudbury Mall.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was talking to them about the nature of because they're just getting their Axum body cams now. Like Sudbury's just getting access to those.
Yeah.
A big part. This was almost 2 years ago too, and they still haven't got them active yet. A big part of what they were talking about is like we have the body cams, but we can't run them because we don't have the servers.
Right.
We don't have the servers to store the data. We don't have anybody to do that. So what do you mean? Everybody works in IT nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. But do you have any other questions or?
I guess to culminate all this one, ultimately, it's like I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but are you going to be running again? Or I don't know if you're allowed to
Why would
answer.
you ask me a question like that when you know I can't lie? I would probably say 90% yes.
Okay. I mean, you got a lot of great ideas for the city, right? That's one of the biggest things.
Well, you know, back in 2022, we went to the debate at Respect is Burning upstairs. And everybody said, what would you do downtown if you had to change it?
Mm-hmm.
Mine was, I wanted to take from 12 Elgin Street all the way down to the soup kitchen and turn that into the entertainment district, where you have racing, movie productions, movie theaters, everything all the way through. You lock stone Durham Street, walking only, with little delis and novelty shops and so on.
Yeah.
Same with Cedar Street. Because downtown right now, and I said it then and I'll say it now, is downtown is not downtown anymore. Downtown is from the New Sudbury Shopping Center to the Home Depot. That's downtown.
Yeah.
Our old downtown is the business district of Sudbury, Ontario.
I feel like a lot of it was lost when we lost Frank's Deli and the Black Cat.
Oh, definitely.
Like a lot of the soul from downtown left.
Our the record shop.
Oh, yeah, Records on Wheels. Oh my God, Frank, he's been there forever.
Yeah.
And he was such a great guy for the community. He was so helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's an empty Shroomies because they're trying to legalize psilocybin by 2027 to help with addictions and mental health.
And they move across the street.
Yeah.
Get their ass out of town. Thank you. You know, nothing makes sense to me.
That is a pretty interesting notion, though. A big reason they're doing that, Bob, is because they're trying to appeal to the crowds of people that are like with homelessness and addiction. It's like, which is predatory, but at the same time, right now, psilocybin is being considered for treatment of depression and addiction and mental health issues in Canada. It's one of the reasons they're moving towards decriminalization and legalization of psilocybin. So, what do you think about that? Because I mean, it's a heavily psychedelic drug, and it pulls people right out of their reality, right?
I really think that I would have to say you need a double doctor signature.
Right. So they're monitored, like a shot.
So your family doctor would have to step up to the plate in it, okay? And your addiction worker or psychiatrist would have to step up too. So
Right.
here's your prescription for 4 weeks, double signed. I want results, I want notes, etc. And we work it the way it goes.
Well, it seems what a lot of the places in the States are doing that have like psilocybin clinics and stuff like that. They're under heavily monitored situations, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows what could happen with like such a crazy hallucinogenic to somebody that's in already a tender state, like maybe a schizophrenic, for example, who's got addiction and depression issues, but hasn't been diagnosed with schizophrenia, suddenly gets his hands on that. What happens? That's just another slippery slope waiting to happen too.
A little bit of gas extra on the fire. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, but a lot of people don't understand it either.
Mm-hmm.
Like the police getting 12.6% of an increase. To them, to be fair, they deserve it.
They do deserve it.
But let's spend it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That shouldn't be done to like increase salaries in that sense. They need better equipment. They need better resources.
On the streets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember 12, 15 years ago. Big ruckus. Let's put more policing out. Let's put more policing out.
For where, sorry?
For Sudbury. Let's put more policing out on the road. So what do? They take the two cops out of every car and make it down to one. So you could double your cars on the road, but you got less police.
Right, and now it's also a hazard for those cops to pull somebody over, for example, because they don't have their partner.
That's right. So usually you have somebody behind.
So it just kind of slowed down everything, if anything.
They are doing well on the drug bus.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of them lately.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we need a lot more than that. We need our young generation to understand what life's all about.
Yeah. I mean, that's the drug bust isn't down to the city either. I mean, that's federal and provincial action, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
they're being pushed to do that with the whole border bill and all of that.
And the only thing what really, if you want to go talk provincial, the only thing where my pet peeve is with Doug Ford is he had a brother, okay,
Yeah.
who had a lot of addictions and a lot of trauma and mental health due to that. And out of anybody, he should be the one who's building these friggin' addiction and mental health facilities all over Ontario, you know, to save lives.
So a lot of people disagree with me here, but I think Rob Ford was actually a beautiful man.
Oh, he was a good man.
I thought the one video that changed my mind about politics probably about 10 years ago was the video I seen of him pulling out everything that Toronto city officials got, showing how much it costed, ripping it up and asking, why do I have this? It's like, I have a bus ticket. I have a bus pass for the city of Toronto. Why? I have a car. Almost everybody that works in the city here does.
Yeah.
And we have parking passes. We get free trips to the zoo. All that stuff. It's like, why are all these perks available to us? And Rob Ford was the first politician that I'd ever seen in my life do something like that.
Yeah.
Show where the money is, almost to a conspiratorial sense.
Yeah.
And a few months later, he winds up wrapped around a pole, right? From his drug accident.
As soon as you see that, first thing what comes to my mind is a corruption of Elton John tickets.
Right.
Right?
In Sudbury, that was horrible. The only reason I got in to see that show is because I helped tune his piano.
Yeah.
I was not able to buy a ticket just
Yeah.
on the sheer fact that the city council and all their friends took up everything.
And wherever, do you remember the bus fiasco there about the tickets? $850,000 worth of tickets gone?
No.
No? That was all forgotten
The
about.
bus fiasco.
Yeah. $850,000 worth of bus tickets missing.
And this was from like Sudbury
Transit.
Transit.
Shh.
It's like the transfer payments, all the change that's been put in this thing is like Where's that all going?
Yeah, exactly. So I will say anybody who is running next year, please put in that you want an audit. Because if we don't bring an audit pretty soon to surface,
Yeah.
we're in serious trouble. We owe so much friggin' money.
Yeah.
How many lawsuits are going on?
That's true. That's the main thing that we call for on Canada Rising. Audit everything. We need transparency. We need accountability. It's the only way we're going to get to the source of the problem.
Exactly. So to sort of end up closing the segment, I hope you invite me back again.
Oh, absolutely. Next week, I'd like to talk to you again with Tom Price. It sounds like you've done a lot of work with him, and having Tom on the show, and like you as just the backup to maybe fill any gaps. I think that'd be an awesome episode.
Okay, yeah, and if anybody has any questions or what they want to know, feel free to reach out to Canadian Rising, and we'll try and please everybody.
Yeah, just feel free to shoot questions. We'll answer them as promptly as possible, and we'll see you next week for the next episode with Bob and Tom Price.
So Tom Price, Bob Johnston, next Sunday, don't miss it. And my favorite organization, Christina Scapolini from Angels of Hope. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.